Hello, this is the non-dual lectionary for the fourth Sunday in Advent, year A, and we get part of the Christmas story here. Um, and I should note, last year in year C, I did do two videos on the Christmas story themselves lessons, the lessons for Christmas Day that aren't part of the Sunday lectionary. I'm not going to do that this year just because they're the same gospel passages again, but I will link those in the comments to this one. But we are going to get just a little bit of the Christmas story in this one, and let's jump to it. It's from Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 through 25. Now, the birth of Jesus the Messiah took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been engaged to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found to be pregnant from the Holy Spirit. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to expose her to public disgrace, planned to divorce her quietly. But just when he had resolved to do this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. Look, the virgin shall become pregnant and give birth to a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took her as his wife, but had no marital relations with her until she had given birth to a son, and he named him Jesus. I mean, the Christmas story in general, really rich with all sorts of things we could glean out of there, from a non-dual perspective, from all sorts of other interesting perspectives, and some of that I did last year. But there's just one little point I want to grab out of here, and to me, it's something that I think we can, when we're kind of doing the spiritual thing, which, I'm as guilty of as anybody else, it can get kind of out there, is one way of putting it, right? If you know what I mean by like, not grounded, not incarnate in a way. That'd be another way to put it. Um, but not like worldly, not material, not all those things, right? And when we talk about non-dual, I mean, we're really talking about the, the non-ness is important there, right? Because, any good teacher will point out it's not that it's not dual either, right? It's not that it's one, it's the ands of all the opposites, right? So not just not dual, but also not dual, not one and not two. But when we talk about all these dualisms that non-dual points towards moving beyond, say something like that, right? Some of the core ones are like, God or spirit and matter or here or earth, right? God and heaven out there, right? Earth and matter here, earth and people and matter here, or spirit separate, right? Matter, material, stuff, worldly, the day-to-day nitty-gritty, separate. And one of the sort of amazing things, one of the beautiful, like just right there, right in our face things about the Christmas story, right, is that that's all broken down just immediately, right at the start. The whole message of the Christmas story is that God and people, spirit and matter, all shows up at the same place, right? In a person. Um, Now, the traditional Christian message has made that into a unique person that's separate from everybody else. Only that one is God, and and so recreated the dualism right away, right? That only Jesus is the one who's God and person at the same time, or spirit and matter at the same time. But there's all sorts of other ways it sneaks in later, right? The combination, the Holy Spirit, the indwelling spirit, and things like that, because it's true. If if the non-dual, recognition, perspective, realization, awakening, whatever you want to call it, is real, then of course every religion, every spiritual tradition it's going to find its way in, no matter what doctrines, dogmas you come up with. And so here it is right here again, right? Conceived from the Holy Spirit, bear a son, his name will be Emmanuel, which is God with us, right? And what does that mean? Again, like God right here. and not like right, not even right here, like, oh, I'm looking at God, although that can be a valuable perspective too, but just like no separation, right? Breaking down even that sort of fundamental initial barrier of God, spirit, heaven out there, world, people, nitty-gritty stuff right here. So, the beauty of the Christmas story is right at the outset here, right? We've got like the core non-dual thing is just bursting through, right? Not separate. That's the start. And how cool is that? Because if you start that way, I mean, you can't avoid finishing that way, right? And again, funnily, if it starts that way, then that's what it was, what it is, and what it'll be forever.